Happy New Year. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of council. Once again, I come before you with a long-standing issue. But we have a history of solving our long-standing issues. Taking care of our stormwater, we're taking care of our roads. But one of the biggest problems we have is a public safety issue, and that is the compound. It's been mentioned earlier. That property out there belongs to a lot of private individuals. People going out there and shooting guns and riding four-wheelers and doing everything else that happens out there is a liability not only to those property owners, but to the city. And as a citizen of the city, I think it's incumbent upon the council to take this long-standing issue and do something about it. I'd recommend forming an ad hoc committee to include police department, fire department, public works, because they're all part of what would happen, and come up with solutions. You're not going to make everybody happy. It's not going to be a popular decision, but something has to be done. We have people going out there and dying from drugs overdoses. We're finding dead bodies out there. There's so much trash and garbage out there, it would take a month of Sundays to pick it all up. So it's incumbent on you to solve this long-standing problem, just as the council has solved our other long-standing problems. When you want to talk about police and fire's response time, how much of those increased response times are from the compound? I mean, if they go out there on a call and their next call's back in the regular part of the city, the people waiting in the regular part of the city could be dying waiting on the police or fire to get there because they were out in the compound. So I don't know what the solution is, but we have a lot of rocket scientists living in our community, and I think there's a solution out there. Thank you.
No more public comments? So, council, before we go to public hearings, when you talk about the compound and some of those properties that we own, I was thinking future, we're thinking light industrial and all that, but I kind of like the idea of getting together somehow, let some minds get together and see what our options are. Certainly, we have increased our patrol over time out there. Certainly, we've done different things. I know Commander Spears in particular did some work out there with law enforcement. But I'm curious to see, is there something that we can do collectively? It's time to have that type of discussion, council, is what I'm trying to convey to each and every one of you. Let's sit down, let's have the discussion. Maybe I'm not sure if a workshop is in order. I'm looking at our deputy city manager at that point. But certainly the discussion should be had on what options there are and how do we rectify how we move forward with the security of not only that area but our neighboring citizens as well. So what are your thoughts, council? I'll start with Councilman Filiberto.
Thank you, Mayor. So I'm with you, Mayor. Absolutely, something has to happen. I kind of like Mr. Guam's idea of the committee and starting a commission. And kind of the way I was feeling it is that we'd have 3 residents there, 1 police officer, and 1 councilman as like the liaison. I feel that this is not an issue that staff can solve by themselves. It's not an issue that we can solve by ourselves. It's gonna be all hands on deck. We need residents' help, we need staff's help, and of course we need ourselves as well. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I've been to the compound obviously, and I do see the crosses out there. I do see the tragedies that have occurred out there, but I also see the positive things that have happened out there. I've seen the family picnics. I've seen the family photos. I've seen people flying their model airplanes. Although this is a tragedy that happened on December 25th, I'm not going to discuss the tragedy because it's an open investigation. I just think that if we all got involved, we can find that solution. And I think this is the council to be able to find that solution. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Foster.
Thank you, Mayor. I discussed this city manager this week, doing my briefing. I think we need to have a workshop. I think staff is working on something, according to what she told me. But we need to have a workshop and invite property owners who have property out there to attend and hear their solutions. So I'm for a workshop and solving this compound problem.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I've spoken to Mr. Gom directly as well as others in our staff, and looking at it, I think a workshop might be the best, quickest way to do it, because if you do an ad hoc committee, that can take weeks, maybe months to fill every position. But what we could do within the next month or so is a quick workshop and rally the troops and rally everybody together. Like Councilman Foster said, we have Mr. Mualim, who's one of the largest landowners out in that area. A lot of other people, they live all across the world, not just in the state of Florida. So it's gonna be hard to get those landowners here, but they can tune in online or just watch, and we all work together, like Councilman Filiberto said. So I'm for it.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor?
Mayor, it sounds like we have a consensus. Yeah, just like my colleagues, I would support a workshop as well. I think would be the quickest way to start this, at least start the conversation, to see where that leads. And even if we go further down the road and put that committee together, I think council got to set the tone. At least create that framework or give some sort of direction to that group. Should we need to go that route? But I would certainly support.
And I agree with council. Thank you, Mr. Gom, for bringing that up and being passionate about that. Here's my take, though. I'd like for this workshop to have some type of strategies already laid out. I'd like for not only for the citizens to be engaged, but I'd like for us to have some different options that we could automatically discuss, and then let's come in with that mindset that let's take these baby choppy steps towards a resolve out there. And I think we can all, I don't know if, like you said, Deputy Mayor, going down range, if it's an ad hoc, but certainly we could start focusing and tailoring it with the business owners, with the landowners and property owners, and even our own staff come up with some strategies. So that's where I'm at. Deputy City Mayor, or Deputy City Manager?
I'm fine with that. I'll work with Suzanne when she returns in City Clerk's office, and we'll look at some dates.
Outstanding. Thank you, ma'am. So now we're on